Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Twelfth Night and we get to hear from Malvolio today in Act 3, Scene 4, but whoops, oh well, yesterday we just finished Act 3, Scene 2. So quick little recap of the things and the stuff. Viola is dressed as Cesario and is wooing Olivia on behalf of Count Orsino, or Duke Orsino, but Olivia is not interested in Orsino. Olivia is interested in Cesario and basically threw herself at Cesario, who said, "Sorry, I am never going to love a woman. Are you sure that you're not interested in my boss?" And Olivia said, well, maybe if you come tomorrow and try again, then that could be a thing. And then we also have this other plot where Mariah wrote a letter in Olivia's handwriting and left it out for Malvolio to find, that basically hinted at Olivia being in love with Malvolio and loving yellow stockings that are cross-gartered and loves it when Malvolio smiles, which are actually all things that Olivia hates. But Malvolio found this letter and now feels like he's able to court Olivia and knows exactly how to court Olivia because this will raise his station, or his status in society. And then we also have Antonio and Sebastian, who we're going to get to see in Act 3, Scene 3. Sebastian is Viola's twin brother, and they look very similar. And keep in mind, Viola is dressed as a man right now. Antonio was the ship captain of the ship that wrecked in order for Sebastian to also be on this island. So I think those are the most important things at the moment. Oh, we did have a scene where the clowns, Sir Toby Belch and Sir Andrew and Fabian, were watching Olivia throw herself at Cesario, and the clowns had to convince, or Toby and Fabian had to convince Sir Andrew to stay and try to continue to woo Olivia because they said that this was all just a scene that she was putting on for his sake, to make him jealous, and that he now needs to challenge Cesario to a duel in order to try to win Olivia. So yeah, sorry, lots of recap. There's lots of stuff that happens in between the monologues, including Act 3, Scene 3, which is a scene between Antonio and Sebastian. They've arrived in Duke Orsino's court, and Sebastian's like, oh, that was really sweet of you to follow me, and Antonio's like, yeah, I was really worried about you, so my fear of coming here was outweighed by my concern for you. And Sebastian's like, I appreciate that, and while we're here, should we do some sightseeing? And Antonio shares that he was involved in a battle against Illyria on the opposite side and maybe did some damage, so he's not really welcome in the city and not really comfortable being in the city. So he's gonna go find lodging while Sebastian goes and checks out the city, and Antonio even gives Sebastian his money, and just in case Sebastian finds a cute little trinket that he wants to buy along the way. So if anybody wants to say that this is not a homosexual relationship, I'd like to see your argument for that, because in my eyes it's very much skewing the other way. But anyway, that's Act 3, Scene 3. Antonio's going to go find lodgings at the Elephant. Sebastian is going to wander around the city by himself and see some stuff, and then meet Antonio back at the Elephant later. So Act 3, Scene 4, we're back at Olivia's place, and she's there with Mariah, and she's like, I sent for Cesario to come, and is he coming? Should I have snacks? Should I have, how should I greet him when he gets here? And Mariah's like, well, be careful of Malvolio, because he's being a little weird right now. And Olivia's like, oh my goodness, bring him in here. We got to see what's wrong with Malvolio. So Malvolio comes in wearing yellow stockings that are cross-gartered and smiling like an idiot. And Olivia's like, why are you smiling like an idiot? And he makes a big show of showing off the stockings and like, oh, look at my yellow stockings, and oh, look at my cross garters. And he starts quoting some of the things that were in the letter that Mariah had written as if she was Olivia, like some seek greatness, some have greatness thrust upon them, that sort of stuff. And Olivia, since she didn't write that letter, has no idea what he's talking about. She's like, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? And then another servant comes in to say that Cesario is there. And Olivia's like, okay, great, Mariah, go with me to get him so we can bring him in here, and somebody look after Malvolio along the way. So they all leave, and Malvolio has a moment on the stage by himself, and he says, oh ho, do you come near me now. No worse man than Sir Toby to look to me. This concurs directly with the letter. She sends him on purpose that I may appear stubborn to him, for she incites me to that in the letter. Cast thy humble slough, says she, be opposite with a kinsman, surly with servants. Let thy tongue languor with arguments of state. Put thyself into the trick of singularity. And consequently sets down the manner how, as a sad face, a reverend carriage, a slow tongue, in the habit of some sir of note, and so forth. I have limed her, but it is Jove's doing, and Jove make me thankful. And when she went away now, let this fellow be looked to. Fellow! Not Malvolio, nor after my degree, but fellow. Why, everything adheres together, that no dram of a scruple, no scruple of a scruple, no obstacle, no incredulous or unsafe circumstance. What can be said? Nothing that can be can come between me and the full prospect of my hopes. Well, Jove, not I, is the doer of this, and he is to be thanked. So Malvolio is loving this. He thinks that it's working. He thinks that Sir Toby Belch is being sent in to keep an eye on Malvolio, specifically so that Malvolio can follow some of the other instructions in the letter to be rude to people, to be rude to a kinsman and surly with servants and all that sort of thing. And he's like, and she even said how to do it, that I should be, sad of face, and she told me how to dress, which I did, and she told me how to act. He's like, this is perfect. I have her wrapped around my little finger, even to the point where when she went away, she didn't call me Malvolio, she didn't call me by my titles, anything like that. She called me a fellow, which is the more personal, familiar way to refer to him. He's like, this is it. It is on. I'm getting it. I'm going to get to marry Olivia. And then the clowns come in. And we're going to leave it there for today because we get to hear from them in tomorrow's monologue. And this one's already been nice and long. So we'll pick up there tomorrow with Malvolio thinking that he's on top of the world. I'll see you then. Mwah.